Yo, 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 what's good? It's your boy JT Opposite from the North back with another one. Y'all see what the title is. So all this bullshit where they talking about this happened hundreds of years ago and blase squaze and all that bullshit. And shout out to my boy Nat Go. Definitely shout out to Lava Land. You know what I'm saying? My boy put me on to this a while ago and I forgot about it, but I was just on YouTube just watching some shit and this came up again and I'm so glad it did so I can share this. So I can educate my people on shit that we do not be seeing and we do not know about. And it still exists. And this video only got 2 million views. It's only 2 years old. This video should have 100 million fucking views. Period. All right, so let's get into it.
Burrell became a sharecropper. Under the system of sharecropping, the planter and the newly freed former slaves came into an agreement. I will furnish you with the seeds, with the land, a place to stay. In return, you would give me a portion of the crops. Well, not everyone did the right thing.
Although sharecropping was technically legal, the practice was widely abused by white landowners who used debts to keep African Americans tied to the land that they once worked as slaves. Sharecroppers didn't pay rent, but they didn't own any property, and today, historians agree, sharecropping was just slavery by a different name.
So many former enslaved Africans had nothing. They had no choice. At the end of the year, you owe me. No matter how hard you work, you were told, sorry.
And those cases relate directly to your cases today.
Right, after slavery. These are like 1921, 1930, 1940s, the 50s, and some of them to the 60s.
Y'all heard that? All the way up into the 60s, they was still having practices of modern day slavery and duping black people out of, you know what I'm saying, knowing how free they actually were. So let's get back into it.
Antoinette's very first case was May Louise Miller, a woman who was held as a slave with her entire family in Mississippi until 1961. Though May passed away in 2014, Antoinette took us to see one of her brothers, Arthur Miller.
May and Arthur being two of the older sisters and brothers, they remember a lot. It took a long time before Arthur really opened up and talked.
We lived on, I don't know what would you call it, but something like a plantation to me. It belonged to several different white people. They all were family, I guess. And you couldn't leave. And if you did leave, they either come get you or have somebody kill you or whatever. That's what happened. They did my mama bad.
What did they do to your mother?
They just had my mother, the white man. They just do what they wanted to do with them. And I just wasn't big enough to do nothing. If I would have been, I don't know, probably would have been.
And this was in the 1950s or 40s?
That was on through the 40s and the 50s, all through the 50s, 40s to 60s.
So what would the repercussions be if you tried to leave?
And real quick, this was in Louisiana.
Or if you tried to refuse what they wanted?
Back in them days, it was kind of like you had to do what the white man said, or get killed. My daddy's uncle, he made him dig a grave and killed him. They killed him, buried him in his own grave. Jerry Dawson, they killed him. He lived around the same place we lived on. He left and said he wasn't coming back. They wouldn't got him, brought him back, carried him right out there from his house, killed him, hung him up in a tree.
They hung him?
They killed him first, castorized him, and hung him up right from his house where his children, everybody could see him.
Were you aware that this is 1940s, 1950s, that this is insane. Arthur, this breaks my heart to hear this story.
And you see, this young brother just cannot believe that this was being told. That's just like when I watched in my American history class, my white teacher played a video that actually had slaves talking. And this was like 1920s. or something like that, black and white. And I'm sitting there breaking down in class. I had to get up and remove myself because I was fucked up. And it didn't bother the white people in there. The other black people that was in there, it didn't bother them because they wasn't like me. They didn't feel that shit. You know what I'm saying? But get back into it.
Growing up, were you fully aware, this is in the 40s and 50s, you know, the civil rights movement is just about to begin. Were you aware of what was going on in the rest of the country at that time for black people pursuing freedom?
No.
You weren't aware at all that there was any pursuit for freedom in the 40s and 50s for us?
No, not really. Not really, cold. I think maybe like in 65, 66, when they was doing that marching. You know, that's when I really found out. The people are scared to talk about it. It's people right now, y'all go to talk to. They won't talk with y'all about this shit. They're scared to do it. They got that fear in them,
All right. If y'all, I'm not gonna watch, go through the whole video. You know, I just want to share a little bit with y'all. But you heard what he said, 1964, 65, when he seen they was doing marching. This man was a fucking slave, him and his family, and seeing other neighbors who were slaves in the fucking, from the 40s to the 60s in Louisiana. So when we talk about how great this country is, we also got to talk about how shitty it's been and still is. And it's so fucking sad. Like I said, this video only got 2 million views and nobody talks about these things. Like, these are the things we got to start bringing to light. You know what I'm saying? If y'all want to dig into it, I didn't get the sister's name. It was in the beginning. Y'all please excuse me. Matter of fact, while we here, let me just do this right now. So y'all can look this up yourself.
And then from his house, killed him. Hung him up in a tree. Castorized him and hung him up right from his house where his children, everybody could see him. I'm pretty sure it's 55, 56 when this happened.
Most of us think that the end of the Civil
Hold
War
on,
in
y'all, excuse me.
1865 closed the chapter on slavery in the American South. But that's far from the truth. Difficult history to prove. Today, there's one woman who's dedicated her life to finding this lost history of black identity. She's been called the slavery detective of the South. Specializes in actually
Hold on, y'all excuse me. I'm trying to...
Antoinette learning more about her work. Sometimes she gets leads from newspaper clippings.
Hold on, y'all give me a second.
Antoinette was born and raised in Louisiana, and even though she lost her leg to cancer a few years ago, that hasn't slowed her down from what she sees as swampy and super rural. I was actually born in Boston and moved to Atlanta, Georgia.
Let me see, y'all, hold on, y'all give me a second. Let me see if I can find the sister's name. See her first name is Antoinette, and I'm trying to find her last name. Okay, it's not showing her last name. It just says her name is Antoinette. So if y'all want to look this up yourself and dig deeper, I'm going to do some more on that. Have me and my partner talk about it. But her name is Antoinette, and this is on the Vice channel, 13.3 million subscribers. And like I said, it's only a little over 2 million, and it should be like 100 million views. But these are the things, like me and my partner always talk about, all these things that it's saying. So you got cases that range from what this brother said. His claim is all the way up to 64, 65. He didn't know what was going on. And I can believe that, because if you look at those times, like I always speak about what they would do. Like my pops told me about reckless eyeballing a white woman. You can go to jail for that or be beaten and killed. You see what happened to Emmett Till. So all this bullshit about how great this country is still fucked up. And then for 45 punk ass to be saying, oh, he don't want it to talk because he's going to make it seem like the country is racist. Yes, he said that on the political debate. Y'all can look it up when they a clip when they just asked him and Biden about race relations in this country, and you'll be able to see it. He doesn't want race sensitivity being taught by the police because it's racist. Think about that. How teaching the law enforcement to when they deal with different races, especially if they're it's the opposite. It don't matter if they black, Asian, Italian, Hispanic, or whatever. If they're not dealing with their own race, how do you deal with it? How do you not try to look at one race as superior, whether it's yours or white, whatever? And he said that would be racist. But I'm showing you here, and I want y'all to go look at it. Once again, this is on the Vice channel. All y'all got to do is y'all can put in slave detective, and it'll pull it up on the Vice channel. Y'all can check it out fully more. The video is 21 minutes and 41 seconds. And like I said, I'm going to try to look up the sister's name, Antoinette. God bless her. Much love and respect to her. It's just sad, man. This shit is just so sad and fucked up that we keep talking all this shit and we don't really do our research on what's really going on around us. And we walk around with encyclopedias in our pockets that we pay for every month. That's what our phones are. So here goes something, man. I just had to show y'all that. This your boy JT, opposite from the North. Like, share, comment. Make sure you subscribe. Anybody come on on this channel about this video and say some bullshit, you gon' get it. I know I might get some dislikes. They're gonna be too punks to say anything because they know I'm gonna go in on their ass. So coons and conservatives, watch your mouth. I'll get back at y'all. Chip.